and we are live. We only have 8 hours, Ivan, so let's try to keep it short.
Oh, sorry, giving you some belly shots. 8 hours? Oh, man, we're going to have to tighten things up a bit over here.
Hello, and welcome to the Duel podcast for NFL Week 14, or excuse me, NFL Week 15.
Week 15? That's the playoffs.
It's the fantasy playoffs if you're in a season-long league. I made the playoffs, so I have a matchup this week. We're not talking about that, though. We're talking about daily fantasy sports, DFS. I am James Gale. You can follow me on Twitter at GoJPG.
And I am Ivan Lovegren. You can follow me on Twitter at Watch the Breaks. And follow us both on Twitter at
Fool Duel. That's right. Now, this is an interesting week. It's holiday season. I am traveling. I am in Milwaukee right now.
Ooh, the Kingslayers.
Then I will head north. Hey, speaking of Kingslayers, look at this great sweatshirt.
Oh, man.
Winter's coming, folks.
That's
what they say on that TV show. So, yeah, I got that for my girlfriend. Thank you, Sheila. It was a great gift. Shout out to Sheila. Shout out to Jeff Van Driel, even though he does our music. I'm going to see him later today.
Oh, hey, shout out to the guy that you'll see later today.
So, and we don't have his music this week because we're doing a live broadcast. So let's get right into it.
This is remote.
Do you have any DFS things? How'd you do last week? You want to quick talk about our leagues last week?
Our league last week, we got 7 of 10 filled on FanDuel, so we're still just a little short. We need some more FanDuel players. Everybody's on DraftKings. What's up with that?
Well, you like that. You like DraftKings.
I love it. So our DraftKings had 18 players this week. Top 3 paid out. I placed 13th. I had a horrible lineup. It was all early slate as well, like my entire lineup.
Yeah, mine too, I believe.
And I was not in the money at any point. Like not even 10 minutes into the first quarter.
I think I was top 10 for a second, maybe.
Yeah, and you ended at 16th, so we both skunked there.
We were both this week.
Obviously, I know I had Thomas Rawls. That hurt a little bit.
Me too.
But I did actually. So I ran my Pittsburgh Steelers stack, which they ended up running the ball. D'Angelo Williams had 2 touchdowns, and they won decisively, but they had to do it in a different manner. And I did place in a tournament with 2 other lineups that I had, one of which was a Seahawks stack, even with Thomas Rawls' injury. So,
Doug Baldwin, I assume.
Yeah, Doug Baldwin and Tyler Lockett.
Nice.
So that one turned out really well. Made $1.50 off of a quarter, but then I also lost 75 cents on my other lineup. So, but yeah,
that is a win.
I
was heavily invested in Andy Dalton last week, and so we all know what happened. So I min cashed in one of my GPPs. That's it.
Yeah. So
I lost $1.
Let's look ahead to the future, right?
Here we go.
On the horizon.
Week 15. We're not going to cover Saturday because it's not available on a lot of large slates. So
it's only available
New York Jets, Dallas
slates on DraftKings. So you have to play Saturday, Sunday, and Monday night if you want to play that game. Interestingly enough. So we're going to dive right in. A weird week as far as splits go, but it's fun. There's going to be a lot of football early and late. Early games, Kansas City at Baltimore. Kansas City is favored by 7 points. I don't even know who's playing quarterback for Baltimore anymore. It's like Brady Quinn or something.
Oh, so they got rid of Matt Schaub? It's not Matt Schaub anymore?
Yeah, no, it's actually, I think it was Clausen last week.
Oh, my.
Clausen.
Oh, gosh. That's how little I know about their quarterback situation.
Yeah, honestly, that's going to be the theme of the week is who the hell is even playing?
Exactly. It was, I did my normal research, but boy, I keep hearing about guys that are injured, guys that aren't playing, and it's a crazy week for that. But these are the weeks where you take advantage and you get that player that's super cheap that goes off. So there's a lot of options like that. So here, Baltimore, KC, I don't think I'm touching any Baltimore players, but on the Kansas City side, I sure like Jeremy Maclin.
Maclin is one of the DraftKings optimized Fantasy Pros players. They like him a lot there.
5,500 on DraftKings, week 12, 9 catches for 160 and a touchdown. Last week 13, 9 catches for 95 yards, 2 touchdowns. Last week 6 for 68, 0 touchdowns, but he's their number 1 target in the passing game. You can't rely on Kelsey. He's too boomer bust, but they want to give Maclin the ball against that terrible Baltimore defense. He's going to be heavily owned, but I like him.
Still at 5,500 at receiver and DraftKings. So
Yeah.
definitely an affordable play if you still want to run out some OBJs and some JJs. And
Yeah. Now, are you in on the Kansas City running game?
it is because this is the kind of game where they could go up and just sort of ground and pound.
Yeah, I agree.
But again, you still don't quite know if it's going to be West or where. I actually went a little flyer on West last week, and he came through.
Me
but
too.
There's still enough splits that you're still worried going forward.
Yeah.
4,800 on DraftKings for West, 4,000 for Ware. So you can tell that even the experts are not quite ready to give up on Ware and commit to West.
Yeah. I'm probably going to stay away. I would side West. I might go with a share of West.
Yeah.
But that'd be what I do.
See, I'd almost do the opposite and maybe go for Ware in a tournament because you got to figure at the price West might still be owned in a lot of tournament lineups.
Mm-hmm.
Because he could go off, but then you're talking ownership percentage of maybe 12, 15%. Quote me on that. Let's look it up on Sunday.
Okay.
And so I don't know. So I think Ware might be a better tournament play, but I could see you playing West maybe in a cash game because he has a good upside.
Yeah.
That said, I actually have a
excuse me, sorry.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Milwaukee coming through.
Exactly.
Actually, I'm all stuffed up too, and I'm in Los Angeles. So, it's been freezing here. It's probably colder here than it is there.
No, it got cold here, but yeah, it's been cold in LA these past few weeks. Like 40 when I wake up. We had a frost advisory at my place.
Ugh.
So, yikes.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that movie with the little elves, and they come in and they attack the frost.
Did you see Krampus?
No, this is an old one. One with little.
Krampus was great. I enjoyed Krampus. But let's move on. Houston at Indy.
Well, no, you didn't even let me do my pick. My pick was Javorius Allen. I have him in all my lineups.
You do
all my lineups, all two of them at this point. Because I haven't been. I've been Star Warsing, but yeah, no, I love him. I absolutely love him. It's like who else are you going to go
to? They call him Buck Allen. Where is he? He's 4,500.
Yep, 4,500 on DraftKings.
Last week, 8 attempts for 14 yards, 5 for 44 receptions for 44 yards. Miami, he got the ball a lot.
Yeah,
38 points in week 13. You think recency bias is going to keep people away? KC has 100%. A decent defense. I'm thinking about KC's defense in they're 3,700 on DraftKings. I see. So.
Yeah, but
tell me why Buck Allen is the play.
Somebody has to get some work.
Yeah,
and again, I'm talking ownership percentages here.
Yeah.
And they deviated last week and going with Clausen over Schaub. So my highness on him originally was that he practiced with Schaub all off season or all season on the second team. They had this other guy Justin Forsett that was ahead of him. In case you just tuned into football, now you've got exactly where was he all year? But you've got Javorius Allen coming in. He was, I was hot on him then. Well, now I feel like after a little week of settling down with Clausen, they're gonna try and just keep things at a certain tempo. I mean, Kansas City won last week. What was it, like 10-3 or something?
Yeah,
wasn't a huge game, and that was against San Diego. It's not a great defense.
It was pouring rain in Kansas City, but yes.
I'm just saying, like I don't think Kansas City's offense is dynamic extremely, so I think that there's a lot of chance for this to be a close game, even if I still.
Baltimore's been in most of the games they've played this year.
Yeah,
despite last week.
And it's funny because
do you believe in the Seattle hangover? Because that's a thing I was hearing about. Is that
really?
If you play against a really good defense, and Seattle's the model people use.
That's why I was like,
takes a week to come back.
I'm never perfect, but I'm pretty sure Baltimore didn't play Seattle last week.
I thought they did.
Did they?
Right?
No.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was Baltimore, Seattle. You can look that up. I want to move on because we're trying to keep this short.
Shut up.
Houston at Indy. It's a pick'em. Over-under's 41. Matt Hasselbeck is hurt. They're on, what is it, Charlie Whitehurst?
Charlie Whitehurst.
I don't think against Houston. I just don't like anybody from this game.
I
DeAndre
do.
Hopkins. Okay, great.
How do you not like Houston's defense against Charlie Whitehurst?
I do
2,500.
like that play. I do like
2,500
that
on
play.
DraftKings.
25?
Yeah, you can spend 5,000 if you want for the Seahawks, or
Or
you can
half
go
that. That's pretty good.
Texans for 2,500 against Charlie Whitehurst.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let's
I like
keep
the
it
play.
simple with that. And I mean, you can't ignore DeAndre Hopkins, but I know that you're probably higher on OBJ, and I'm probably higher on Antonio Brown, and we're both forgetting Julio Jones in there. I don't know. Maybe I probably rank Hopkins above Jones. Let's do a quick. This will kind of encapsulate all those guys. Where do you rank those four guys right now? Those are the
Seattle
top four
traveled to
receivers.
Baltimore and beat them 35-6 last week.
Yeah. Did you not hear me? Yeah, I said that. I said it quietly so that.
So we're gonna rank the top receivers.
Yeah. So who this week? You got Antonio Brown, you got DeAndre Hopkins, you've got
Antonio, Julio, DeAndre, Odell.
Odell. Yeah, those guys.
Okay. Well, boy, it's hard to fade Odell. I think Odell's on his run, right now, where you just can't. He's just getting the ball like last year. It doesn't matter.
NFL Steph Curry right now.
Exactly. He's pulling a Steph Curry on all of us. So I'm gonna say Odell 1, and I'll go Brown 2. DeAndre, Julio. I just can't trust Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. But they're also going up against, like, I'd rank the defenses that they're going up against almost the opposite. We've got Jacksonville is the easiest. Mm-hmm. Indianapolis the second easiest. And then, well, it's kind of 50-50 on Brown and OBJ with Denver and Carolina, Mm-hmm. So it's interesting to think about. So all that to just put a little bug in your ear. Maybe Hopkins is the one that less people are looking at and might actually be the better play.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
So yeah, hey, we're flying through these. We're already at Atlanta, Jacksonville.
Yeah, give me the.
We already talked about Julio Jones.
We did,
so we can cross him off. Mm-hmm. Devonta Freeman, again, going back to Fantasy Pros. You guys might as well just sponsor me. He's like totally optimized in all of their DraftKings custom lineups, so they're really high on him this week.
Mm-hmm.
Makes
sense.
I don't know, man. I don't think, and again, I'd rank Jacksonville's defense probably the worst of those four we talked about.
Yeah.
But I also feel like they have the highest chance at like 2 surprise turnovers, and suddenly Matt Ryan's just doesn't know where to look, and like it being that kind of game. Maybe that's just what I want to have happen, but
it's Atlanta's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
In the way Jacksonville's been playing, the defense, aren't they solid up front a little bit better than their past defense? So if you were to pick on them, Julio would be an interesting play. Now I hear that other teams are just doubling Julio because they don't trust Roddy White or the other guys in their offense.
Hankerson's back.
Hankerson, that's it. I was thinking it's a former Washington receiver, Leonard Hankerson. But
he still has Matty Ice throwing to him.
Yeah.
Which I've never understood that nickname. Like, you realize that the nickname does not mean that you're like cool and collected. It means that you're a very cheap beer.
He's got ice water running through his veins.
No, it's literally a cheap beer. That's
Natty Ice.
Yeah, exactly. Matty Ice, Natty Ice.
Oh, is that why they say it? Because it sounds the same?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yes.
Anyways, I am trying to pull up.
They call Carl Anthony Towns the Big Cat because KAT. And I don't know if I like that nickname or not. But anyway, what were you saying?
I'm actually trying to find defensive. I can find defensive stats, but not comps. I wanted to actually see, and I never do this, but I wanted to see the Jaguars' actual rankings when it comes to defensive things. But I know
when I was looking back, they had a low yards per carry, but they also get thrown on a ton.
Mm-hmm. So Freeman's probably not the best choice.
Oh, no, not necessarily. I'm running him out in a season long, but that's because that's all I have.
Well, yeah, what are you going to do? Well, let's flip the tables. I mean, come on. We got Blake Bortles last week was 6,000 on DraftKings. This week he's 6,100. So he's going up again. You know, I love Bortles.
Yeah, I do too.
This is one of the teams actually this week that I would fade, stack. I'm fading that I would stack in a fun tournament, especially because you're getting Robinson. Yeldon is doubtful.
Yeah.
So you're getting Denard Robinson in there. So that could be something that's just not on a lot of people's radars that are setting their lineups 2-3 days out. So you can actually really stack this team. They're almost too stackable. Kind of the problem that I ran into with the Steelers too. It's like you have a decent tight end. You have 2 giant receivers. You have a running back. You have a quarterback. Like you're almost afraid to stack them all. But
I agree. It's what's driving me is these ownership percentages. It just, to me, I think like people are going to be just hard on the Bortles and Robinson, and I like Julius Thomas a lot. 47 on DraftKings this week. Julius Thomas.
Yep, 47.
Okay, yeah. So
it's like 56 for Hearns. And then Robinson is in the 7s.
Yeah.
It's 76, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing keeping me away is I think people are. Bortles is kind of like he was a high pick last year. He's doing well this year. He's kind of like that shiny new toy that you want to put out there.
Also, keep in mind they're still actually playing for the playoffs here.
That's true. That division is muddled. I mean, that game we just talked about has division implications, and this game does too. So, like, they can or they have a shot at the division, right?
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like they're neck and neck with Indy still, especially after last week's win. That's such a weak division. It's like the NFC East of the AFC.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, real quick though, touching on ownership percentages, I always say this. Yes, they suck, but if a guy scores like over 35 points,
you need him.
It erases ownership percentages.
Exactly. Yeah.
The main problem with ownership percentages
it's you're in the wrong if you're part of the negative ownership or the other ownership.
Yeah.
So
then
Bortles is 35% owned. That what would it be? 55%, or excuse me, 65% would be. You wouldn't want to be a part of that 65%.
Well, it depends on how he performs. But at that point,
if he scores 40 points, 35, 40 points.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, then it's like, but the main thing is you're handicapping your lineup with a need to perform guy.
Yes.
So just keep that in mind. Because I ran out Allen Robinson last week. He was actually the third player in the 2 other lineups that I had. And him and the Seahawks covered my crappy 3 other picks, so that I won money in that league. You know.
Yeah.
Even though he was 35% owned or 33% owned. So keep that in mind too. Don't be too afraid of ownership percentages. Just know what they mean.
Yes, that's a good point. That could have been our strategy point this week.
Oh, I just looked ahead. I cheated. Game 4. We have a rivalry game this week.
Good. Let me know about it.
And I'm actually cheering for your team. And their defense is another one of my plays. Chicago at Minnesota.
Okay, let's hear about it.
Bears at Vikings. Line is Minnesota by 6. Over-under is 43. Take the over, but just slightly. And Minnesota, they're ready to bounce back.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
2 straight bad losses.
Still young.
Yeah.
Still young.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not a huge Bridgewater fan, but I do believe in his talent. And I think that it's one of those things where I'm getting meta on this and meta psychological, but when they think they're good, they don't play good. When everything is against them, they surprise you.
Okay.
And we just know that Chicago's not good.
Yeah.
Jay Cutler.
You don't trust him.
In fact, I might almost take the 6 points just because the Chicago thing is they've lost like 9 games this year by 3 or less.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, 6 is a lot when you consider that, but I almost think that it'll be interesting to see what the juice is on that. Actually, is what I'm saying. But I like Minnesota's defense. Cutler's Matt Schaub 2.0 pick sixer.
Yeah, I guess I haven't looked too hard. I mean, it's my team, and it's sad that I haven't looked that hard at who's injured. But I know Anthony Barr is nursing an injury. Harrison Smith, I believe a lot of them were limited this week. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Harrison Smith is a huge part of that Viking secondary, making plays all over the field. And let me just, I'm kind of bringing it up here now.
Harrison Smith is 3,000 on. Oh wait.
Oh, haha.
Just kidding.
If only that'd be fun. IDP.
Yeah,
IDP
it would. You know me, I'd play Quan Alexander every
Yeah,
week.
you would.
Except for this week because it was a Thursday night game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, we've got Forte is at 6,500 on DraftKings. Adrian Peterson is at 7,100 on DraftKings. You can run with either of those guys. They're not horrible. Chalked. Especially for a game in Minnesota in the wintertime. Bridgewater might be your fun flyer here because he's at 5,100. And again, with that whole idea of mobile quarterback in those kinds of settings, is there any perspiration expected? Any, not perspiration, condensation?
I don't know. I wouldn't touch Bridgewater. That Vikings O-line is garbage.
Oh, okay.
Like
I said, rolling
they're
them
my
out.
team. I can't talk about my team. I can't believe we're a playoff team. It's
Stephon Diggs at $4,000.
Sure, take a look.
Not a bad, horrible.
Yeah, take a look.
Yeah. See, they need to get the play action going. If they can get the running game going and then get the play action going. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And now the Bears are going to have a big giant blowout, 38-3, just because I said all this. But
I don't know.
They're not going to get rid of Cutler because they're going to be like, well, we beat the Vikings by so much. And I'm going to have another 4 years of misery. So
yeah.
how about Tennessee at New England? Let's just be done with Chicago and Minnesota, huh?
Yeah.
To my brother, real quick, my younger brother is now a Steelers fan because my older brother lived there. And his friends are teasing him about being a turncoat from Chicago. And he said, listen, if I'm in a relationship where all she does is just sap me of everything, you wouldn't blame me for leaving her.
Yeah. You'd be encouraging him to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he's a turncoat when it comes to sports. So Tennessee at New England. I think this is not our biggest line, actually, biggest differential. But it is New England by 14. What is New England's ranking against tight ends, though? That's my question. Because Delaney Walker.
Sure.
Last week, Delaney Walker was one of the. Oh, that's weird.
What?
Do you hear that?
No. What happened?
I'm getting playback of myself from.
You might have clicked a video accidentally. Go through your windows.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that happened to me last week.
Done. Solved.
Okay. Yeah.
Look at those technical difficulties resolved. We're experts. Yeah, so targets for Delaney Walker, 3rd in the league, 13 last week. 12 the week before that, which was actually like 8th or 9th in the league. But
Patriots have given up 53 receptions, 494 yards, and 4 touchdowns to opposing tight ends.
So when you look at the other factors that the Titans have going for them, what other factors? I like Delaney Walker.
Mariota is young and interesting and put up points against decent Jets defense last week.
Yeah, that's true. Didn't he? Was that the one that he caught a touchdown in?
Yeah. That's right. Oh yeah, that trick play. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so you could always, and the week before he had an 80-yard touchdown run. So again, he's found an interesting way to put up points. That's pushed him up to 5,500 on DraftKings, which is a little bit higher than you'd expect for that type of team. the quarterback for that type of team. They're usually around 51 to 52. But 55, 56 for Delaney Walker. But I don't know about any of those receivers. Dorial Green, Beckham, Kendall Wright. They just haven't been giving me enough to trust them against New England.
Yeah, no, it's a high total too. 51? Or where's our total here?
Oh, no,
46 and a half.
Yeah,
Still, I think that's a high total.
Well, because you got New England, though, too.
Yeah.
New England can put up 35 points.
It's true.
Tennessee puts up 10, and then you're right at that.
Yeah, that's true.
Under 46.5.
I just see it as like a 28-7 game. And I don't even know where the points are coming from. Brady.
You don't think New England's going to push it up with Gronk back? And
they could. I mean, Gronk's a fine play. I just think they get up and then it's kind of ticky-tack with
James White.
And did they sign anybody new? I know they were kind of sniffing around practice squads.
Yeah, Steven Jackson was practicing there, but I don't think that they'd throw him in quite yet, though, especially when you have White and Bolden. I know everyone's like, oh, no, Blunt's out, but you still got James White and Brandon Bolden, and they like using Bolden in the passing game. When does Edelman get back? Is that this week? Because he's 7,400 on draft.
Oh, I thought it was final week or first playoff matchup.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. They were saving him for the playoffs, but I can't say I've heard any other news or new news.
Amendola might not be a bad play at 5,700, just because people are already coming back off him because he didn't quite perform as expected when he was the man.
I'll agree with you there. I think that is a fine play. So,
because New England's got to get those points, they got to cover.
They do.
You know, Robert Kraft is a part owner of DraftKings.
DraftKings, I believe. Yep.
Yeah, he's one of the big investors there, so they got to get those points.
They do.
So,
and in Tennessee, you're not really playing anybody.
No, like I said, Delaney Walker. If you want somebody that you can count on for targets, I have a better tight end play that I'm going to get to when we get to that game, though. So
wonderful. Well, let's move on. Carolina at the New York Giants. The undefeated Panthers are a 4.5 point favorite, and the over/under is 48.
They got nothing to play for. They're not enjoying the game or anything. I
think they're playing for undefeated. Yeah. And I know you're joking there, but so Carolina, Jonathan Stewart's in a walking boot. I hear it says he's out here on like DraftKings, I believe. Mm-hmm. I think there's a little O next to his name.
But that's one of those ones where you think like watch right before the game and substitute him in because he might all of a sudden appear.
Definitely. I don't know if I'm trusting their backup. I do think that helps Cam.
He's still at 6,000 on DraftKings. So that's kind of a gamble too, though. Even
Johnny Stu.
Yeah, just to have the room in your lineup to do that play.
Yeah.
But you like Cam too?
Yeah, sure. I sure do. I think you can load him up.
Tied for
9,400 on FanDuel.
Yep, 7,800 on DraftKings, which is tied with Brady for top.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been. What has he not been doing? I mean, MVP.
He's the MVP, and I think the only thing is you run into a Giants team that like gets up for big games against good opponents. I kind of believe that narrative. I mean, they played well against New England, but New England still put up points. 28 points still? So
Carolina's only favored by 4.5 with an over-under of 48. Mm-hmm. And I still think this goes back to what we said in rankings, and I don't know why I'm not playing him. I'm not playing him this week because of a stack that I'm building specifically, but how many looks did Odell Beckham Jr. get in the last 20 minutes of last week's game? It's like they've realized, okay, we're down, we're losing, we have to go to Odell Beckham Jr. Same with the Redskins game. They were down 17-0, and then the second half was all just Odell Beckham Jr. They still lost that one, thanks to a horrible call by the refs. But that's beside the point. It's interesting, and it looks like Vegas is not afraid of the Giants putting up some numbers in this one. They're not giving Carolina another one of their 40-3 victories here. Mm-hmm. So, that said, you all know I hate the Giants running game. Hate it with a passion.
Yeah. Odell is my Giants play, and Carolina, I think you go Cam. You can run out their kicker, whose name
Gano.
is Gano.
Ted Ginn and Funchess are both cheap. I was kicking myself because I was convinced I put Ginn in at flex in the lineup last week. Then I hadn't. But I was convinced. I was cheering. And then I went on my lineups. And I'm like, wait, where is he? Where is he? So when you guys read my tweets, that's the voice they should be read in.
Right.
What? 4% ownership percentage? Oh my God. I subbed in Darren Sproles. So yeah, it'll be an exciting game. I hope that we have that one on TV. We probably won't. But next up, we got Buffalo at Washington.
Buffalo minus 1.5, over under 44.
I'm taking Washington there.
I'm so mad I moved off of Kirk Cousins, Jordan Reed last week. It's so dumb of me. Actually, I moved off Kirk Cousins. I still had Jordan Reed, so that was good, but that would have been a nice little stat because I saw Kirk Cousins ran for a touchdown and blah, blah, blah. We're on to this week. Buffalo, I like LaShawn McCoy. I like Sammy Watkins. Washington, I don't know who I like.
Kirk Cousins, Watkins is pushing that. We did that top 4. Watkins is starting to push that kind of quietly up there in Buffalo.
And his price isn't. Price at 72, I believe, on FanDuel, and then we have 62. Him on 62 on DraftKings.
Yeah, but
highly
Washington's in that spot where their back's against the wall and they're playing for that. Playing still, it'll be interesting to see what the Cowboys can do on Saturday. Because that's a huge playoff implications there. Because the Jets are wild card and Cowboys are division. But yeah, Washington has a lot to play for, and Buffalo just, I don't know. They just always seem just like right there, like Rex Ryan's Jets, But I don't know. Are you still there? Did I lose you? Your volume.
Sorry.
Oh,
nope,
that's okay.
I bumped my headset.
Oh, okay.
We're okay.
Bump.
I'm not really excited about this game. I'm not really excited about any Washington players.
Yeah.
I like LaShawn McCoy. I like Sammy Watkins. You'll probably find value on a Washington play. Jordan Reed. There you go.
Yeah. Taylor is 5,600. Cousins is 5,200. So Cousins is actually not a bad tournament play now.
Yeah.
Just convinced me.
It sure is.
By being unexcited about him, you convinced me.
Take a look. Let's go to the Sunday late games. We got to move on. Green Bay at Oakland. The people here will love watching that game. Line minus Green Bay -3. Over under is 48.
I don't like this game.
Neither do I, but I mean, there's plays here. Eddie Lacy went off last week. He's worth consideration. Aaron Rodgers, I don't know what's wrong with him. It's just weird. I don't know. Again, they're a team that could just go on a run. Like, this is the week Rodgers throws 5 touchdowns and he doesn't not go off in the next few weeks. And through the playoffs, they run to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Seth Roberts, 3,300.
Who's that? I don't even know who that is. Oh, for Oakland?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. Receiver?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The third
3,300. Wow, so that's your min play?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love me some Seth Roberts.
Okay, you heard it here first.
I heard it here first. 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, I said it.
Oh, did you? Okay, sure. Yeah. He's just a little blip. On my
little
radar.
Blip.
But
I'm
he's
trying
there.
to pull up the stats and my internet's not working because I know like every week I look and I'm like, oh, he got another touchdown. Like he's been just stepping it up as people have been targeting Crabtree more. Roberts has been coming.
Here's a narrative you can play. Aaron Rodgers played in the Bay Area college at Berkeley. He's coming back to Berkeley or the Bay Area. I went to a Niners-Packers game a couple of years ago, and there were a ton of Rodgers fans there. So does Aaron Rodgers get up and throw some touchdowns and blah, blah, blah?
Aaron Rodgers return game?
Yeah.
Bounce back game?
Tell me what he costs on DraftKings, because on FanDuel he's 9,000, so 500 less than Brady, 400 less than Newton.
Yeah, 400 less than both those guys. He's 7,400. But
Yeah,
again, that's one where he's not. I mean, you heard our initial reaction to this game, and now James
exactly.
is getting some fire.
Yeah,
Like, we could be talking maybe 8% ownership, 7% ownership, maybe.
yeah. This might be the week, though. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not going to talk you into it, but I
Oh, he
understand the
already
play
did
100%.
for a quarter. He's getting one of my quarter lineups.
There you go.
That's it.
Yeah. Toss one out there. If you're doing
And I'm going to
multiple
put in.
lineups, toss one
Who am
out
I going
there.
to put
But
in?
if you're doing a single entry,
Jordy Nelson, and T.Y. Montgomery is who he's going to pass. Wait, no, who's he going to pass to? That's the
Randall
problem.
Cobb, Devontae Adams, Richard Rodgers.
Drops.
Richard Rodgers against a Raiders defense that's given up 71 receptions, 823 yards, and 11 touchdown receptions to opposing tight ends.
4,300.
Yeah.
Okay, now
I
you're
like
talking.
Richard Rodgers. There you go.
Now
That's
you
my
sound
play.
like an expert.
That's my play. Do you like any of the Oakland players? I guess I can't get too excited about their running game. Michael Crabtree, Amari Cooper, Derek Carr.
Seth Roberts.
Seth Roberts. Just run out Seth Roberts. That's it. Everybody else is going to be.
Do it. I promise you.
Great.
I promise you.
Great. We can move on.
Cleveland at Seattle.
Here's the big one. Here's that big line. 15.
Oh my God.
Seattle minus 15 with an over-under of 43.
I got to see the money line on this game.
It's because this is a game, and I know they've been scoring a lot of points, but this seems like a game where they win like 12-zip.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the weather's going to be like, and let's say it's raining in Seattle, and it's just a sloppy Seattle defense shuts them out. But again, Russell Wilson's been passing like crazy, and their running back situation isn't that clear. Fred Jackson apparently is not good to start.
The Browns were fired last week.
Who were?
The Browns.
Oh,
they were fired. This isn't the Ravens. Seattle's not ready for this game. Seattle's not ready for this game.
Okay, so Browns cover?
The Browns are just stupid enough that they won't even notice the home field advantage. Think about that for a minute.
So you're saying the Browns cover this game?
I think especially, well, I mean, you said they did too, because you said it was 12-zip.
I know. Yeah, right. So, better question. You think they score points?
I think Johnny Manziel, Brian Hartline. Brian Hartline has been one of the most targeted receivers in the league the last 3 weeks, and he's still at $3,900.
Mm-hmm. I believe he went over 100 yards last week for the first time this season. I like Brian Hartline. I liked him on Miami.
Let's see it. Let's see it happen. And didn't the Seahawks lose one of their Legion of Boom guys this last week too? Barnage, 5,000.
Yeah, Seahawks give up points to tight ends. They sure do. 67 receptions, 788 yards, and 7 touchdowns. I just think Seattle's rolling right now. They're
Isaiah Crowell, 4,000. You can run out a stack of this team that's going to score 30 points against Seattle and still put Odell Beckham Jr. and Julio Jones in your lineup.
Please screenshot that lineup once rosters have locked on Sunday.
I promise I will.
Okay, good.
I promise I
Thank
will.
you.
I'm writing that down.
Timestamp that right now. I'm not touching any. You could convince me Barnage. I think Barnage is low owned and has good upside. I think if you run out a Seattle player, it is watch Sunday. It's a late game, so I like this game in a late slate. That's what I like.
Ooh, even better. Even better.
Playing the late
sack in a late slate.
Yeah, but nobody will touch them in that late slate.
No one. Especially not because the thing that we've been ignoring is that Russell Wilson is on fire the last 3 weeks.
I have him on that fantasy team that took me to the playoffs, so I know about it.
Yeah. Doug Baldwin has 8 touchdowns in the last 3 games.
Yep.
Complete fire. And still cheap because nobody wants to believe in him because he doesn't have the season long behind him because his name is Doug Baldwin. 5,800. Tyler Lockett, who's had like 4 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks, maybe 5.
He's been great.
4,200. So, yeah. Who is playing at running back then? Are they getting Robert?
They brought back Christine Michael.
Oh, Michael. Okay.
And then they have DeJuan Harris, or did he go somewhere? I think he might have went somewhere else. And then they have Fred Jackson. I love Fred Jackson, but apparently he's not a starter.
I'm not even seeing Christine Michael on DraftKings.
And Fred Jackson is cheap. It might be like sometimes when they just sign that week,
yeah,
they're not allowed in the player pool.
Yeah.
So
4,400 for Fred Jackson.
Oh, I thought he was under 4. Still, I like that. I like that cost. Yeah. You can't trust it though. I like Fred Jackson. What's wrong? What's wrong with him? Something wrong with him?
I don't know. You told me that there was. I've just been so fixated on their receivers because they lost Jimmy Graham, and now it's like they don't have any other targets except for Lockett and Baldwin. But Russell Wilson is like seeing, and he's getting the time in the pocket, and
he can run too. If you're paying up for a quarterback, I'm probably going to fade those top dollar guys and go Wilson at 8,800 on FanDuel.
Yeah, I think he's 7 on DraftKings. Yeah, 7 even on DraftKings. So
great.
So fun game. Who would have thought we'd have spent that much time on Cleveland at Seattle in Week 15 of Daily Fantasy Sports?
Here's the game. Should have been Sunday night, but I like Sunday night's game. Denver at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh minus 6.5 is the line against Brock Osweiler. Over-under is 44, which seems low, but Denver has a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
So they think maybe Pittsburgh won't put up a ton of points, even though they possibly can. Tell me why I should be stacking Pittsburgh against a pretty solid Denver defense that's considered the number 1 pass defense.
100% recency bias.
Okay.
Pittsburgh's playing, especially with Andy Dalton injured now, Pittsburgh has a shot at playoff domination. You've seen them when they're healthy and clicking on all cylinders. Big Ben throws for 500 yards to Marcus Wheaton of all people. Like they can make plays, and you can only double cover so many guys. Also, then you've got the opposite of recency bias, which is Pittsburgh coming off of a gigantic win where they pretty much dominated, but did it through the running game. So prices went down just a little bit on all their guys, while their guys actually got some rest and didn't have to play as hard. I love Pittsburgh this week. And then you have the ownership percentages. Who's going to play Ben Roethlisberger when there's a big red first on the defensive ranking that it's going against them?
It's true.
This guy.
Very true. And I like the play. I think I might run him out into one of my tournaments.
Not to mention super cheap at 6,400 versus those other guys we were talking about, 7,800, 7,000, 7,400.
Yeah, he's 7 something on FanDuel. I can look it up here. I'm not going to. We got to move on. We got to really trudge through these. But I do you like any Denver plays?
Not really, but that's because I don't know him very well. I do like, though, I mentioned obviously Martavis Bryant and Antonio Brown, but I like Marcus Wheaton also.
Okay. I like them in the order they're priced. Brown, Bryant, and then Wheaton. That's kind of how I see it.
So. And
then I don't think I'd do D'Angelo Williams though.
Yeah.
I think it's all about that passing game.
Mm-hmm.
Miami at San Diego. San Diego minus 1.5, which is crazy to me. It should just be a pick 'em. Over under.
Even not. I mean, you still got all the starters playing for Miami.
Over under. San Diego minus 1.5. They're favored.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Miami's got Lamar Miller. They've got Jarvis Landry. Yeah, they're missing Matthews, but it's still the right.
So why aren't they favored?
There's something going on that somebody hasn't told me. Tweet me why San Diego should be favored in this game and why you're not playing Jarvis Landry, who had 18 targets last week.
46 is the over-under. Yeah, I like Jarvis Landry a lot. And Lamar Miller is weird. I mean, he did great to start off last week, and then they didn't even use him in the second half.
You can't even tell me. Landry at 6,300. Why would you play Alshon Jeffrey above him?
Yeah.
Why would you play Calvin Johnson above him? In San Diego, why would you play him?
It seems like a garbage game, but I mean 46 is the over-under. There's going to be points scored in this game.
Maybe because Miami just eked out a win against the Ravens last week.
Giants.
Like they didn't dominate. Giants. Oh my God! Why am I? Everything's mixed up in my head. Everything, and they lost to the Giants, and the Giants came back to win.
Yeah.
The Ravens played the Seahawks. Who was the 15-12? Oh, okay. That's probably why. Because they lost last week.
Mm-hmm. Yes. If you like players from this game, I don't see why you don't play them, but I'm just not too thrilled about this game. The weather's going to probably be fine in San Diego, so that's a good sign. So load up a kicker. You like Lambeau? You like whoever the Dolphins kicker is?
Yeah, probably either kicker, because I feel like
San Diego's just so banged up that it's tough for me to trust anybody. Gates against a Dolphins team that is given up to opposing tight ends. They have given up 56 receptions, 680 yards, and 4 touchdowns to opposing tight ends. So that's nothing like crazy, but Gates is really good.
Yeah, 4,600.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand the line.
It's really weird, and God, that's such a high total. I don't know. They are offensive teams with weapons. It's just that San Diego's so banged up. I don't know. I just see this as like a, I don't know, 21-13 game, 21-13, something like that.
Yeah.
I just don't even care about that game. But again, because we don't care about this game, and probably means a lot of people don't care about this game and just bypass it. So you might be able to get some ownership percentage value out of players in this game.
Yeah, this is the week that Melvin Gordon goes off.
Exactly. They've been giving him more touches. We're moving on to the final late afternoon game. It's Cincinnati at San Francisco. Line is Cincinnati -6. Over under is 40.5. Low. I believe that's the lowest total of the week.
AJ McCarron is a whopping, I'm surprised, 5,400 on FanDuel.
Wow, that's shot up.
300.
What was he last week?
I thought it would be. Oh, I'm sure he was probably
priced as a backup,
5 or 4,800 or something.
Yeah,
but I'm actually surprised that he's not still at that like 51, 52. So they're trusting the weapons around him to make him actually stand out as a quarterback.
Sure, and I like Jeremy Hill or Gio, but I like Jeremy Hill. I think. I don't. You don't like to predict game flow, but they could be running a lot in this game if they get up early. San Francisco's bad. The Bengals have a good defense against Blaine Gabbert, who is not good.
Yeah. AJ Green.
I do think that the 49ers defense does play better at home. I think that's probably a smart total to 40.5. Again, it just seems like a 17-13 game to me.
He did air it out for AJ Green once he got in there a bit.
He sure did. I saw it. Great
not
play.
A bad stack to maybe go with.
Yeah.
McCarron's been disciplined. He's had his time. It's not like he's been one of these floaters, these Hoyer types or Schaub types we've seen that was a backup and then floated around. And
yeah,
it's almost like you think that maybe he's got his head screwed on a little more straight because he's just been in that system, just being disciplined and waiting for the chance.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't like any Niners. Do you?
No.
Phil Dawson.
I've come off them. Remember, I was all big on like playing Sean Drawn against.
Hey, I did it last week too. We talked about it last week. Yeah. Moving on.
Sunday night, man, game. They love those Cardinals in prime time, don't they? They love putting them in prime.
They're fun, right?
Like their seventh prime time.
Arizona -3.5. Over under 51. That is the highest.
Over, but take Arizona beyond. Arizona's going to cream Philly. Philly sucks. Philly sucks.
I like Carson Palmer this week. You like John Brown this week. I like John Brown this week. Keep an eye on Fitz. I see he's a little banged up, but he'll play. I like Fitz.
You can't go wrong with Michael Floyd for the price.
Love Michael Floyd. We just love him.
Yeah.
He's our guy. He's our full duel favorite.
So does Carson Palmer.
Exactly. That running game.
David Johnson is, again, he's one of the, he's going to be super owned because Fantasy Pros has him every single time I try to do a lineup. Yeah. They're like, David Johnson. And then I took him out, and then they plug him in the flex, and I'm like, no.
I'll fade.
Yeah. But he's still, still not a bad option, just not.
No, I'm personally fading. If you as a listener don't fade, that's a great idea. Yeah. Play him.
And Philly, play Darren Sproles.
You like Philly players?
Darren Sproles. You know me.
Okay. I'm not too excited about anybody, but they will score points. I just don't know where they're coming from. I can't predict that.
Yeah,
you can't predict anybody, but I don't know.
Actually, Sproles is reflecting. He's above 4,000 this week. He's 4,200. So they've noticed what I've noticed, which is that he gets touches. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, you want to play Sam Bradford, 5,100.
No.
It's funny because when I type in Bradford, right beneath him comes up Brad Sorensen for
Oh,
5,000.
who's
And
he's a
now
backup somewhere?
I think he's with the Chargers, but he might have moved to Miami because it says San Diego versus Miami on this. So I don't know which team he's for. I know that he was with the
Oh.
Chargers. He was a rookie with them like 3 years ago, but he's just, yeah, Sam Bradford 5,100 or Brad Sorensen for 5,000. But no, you're right. Arizona, we love Arizona. They're so much fun. We dislike Philly. This is when
Even
the
though they'll
fandom.
probably score points, and we don't know where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Okay, final game of the week: Monday Night Football on ESPN.
I got a slice of this game.
Detroit at New Orleans.
New Orleans. Yes.
It's tied for the highest total of the week. It's 51. New Orleans -3. You were saying earlier, neither team has anything to play for. I think they have a lot to play for. I think they have a lot of points to score. And this is going to be a nice Monday night high-scoring game. Stafford, load him up. Play him. Theo Riddick, yes. Especially in PPR formats.
No.
Calvin Johnson, keep an eye on him. But yes. Golden Tate, yes. Pettigrew, out for the season. Is it Pettigrew who is? Maybe take a look at Eric Ebron. Now you can tell me why you like the Saints and Benjamin Watson.
I love Benjamin Watson.
Yeah,
How'd you know that was my play of the week? That's my tight end play of the week.
You said it earlier. We like Watson collectively, you and I. Lions have given up 65 receptions, 710 yards, and 10 receiving touchdowns to opposing tight ends. Although Saints, on the other hand, they lead the league in yards given up with over 1,000 to opposing tight ends. 81 receptions, 10 yards. So yeah, Ebron.
It is what, 3,000? Oh,
he's probably a cheapie.
So totally cheapy. That said, oh god, the Lions are just set up. They're already thinking about the offseason. They're already looking forward. New Orleans. The reason this line is so high is because we've seen big numbers put up against New Orleans in the past.
In New Orleans.
But I'm telling you,
New Orleans. In New Orleans.
Better than that. They're better than that. Those are
that defense.
That defense, better than that? Yes. Okay. They're going to surprise people. This line is too high to think both teams are going to score that much. Take New Orleans, take the points, play Benjamin Watson.
Give me a point.
They also have an extra day.
Total points for Detroit.
Detroit's total points 21, 24 maybe. 23. 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals.
I'll take the over.
I'll take the over. Let me ask you this. If I tell you that I'm giving Matt Stafford an extra day to prepare, or I tell you I'm giving Drew Brees an extra day to prepare, which one does that resonate with you more on? And yes, I just called you a moron. There's an incidental.
I got it, yep. It was clever. I
don't think an extra day does Stafford any good.
I think it does his weapons. I think it does Cal good.
Yeah, but you still got Stafford throwing to him. Like I'm saying up here, like you give Drew Brees an extra 10 minutes in a week. He's an elite quarterback.
I like them both. I like both sides. You can attack both sides in this matchup.
So we're gonna run out a primetime lineup, just me and James. It's gonna be 5 Arizona players, and then I'm gonna have 4 New Orleans players, and he's gonna have 4 Detroit players. We're gonna see who wins.
You want to do a free head-to-head? I'll challenge you. Just do it for free, for fun. We could.
If you challenge me, I'll probably see it on Sunday and do. Oh, also that reminds me, since we've reached the end of the slate, Sunday, I am going to the Magic Castle, which means I will not be able to tweet. So
I'll try my best. I'm visiting friends and stuff, so I'll be like checking in on games. But
it's going to be 100% James on Sunday.
Okay, great. Well, that was a great week. We're going to do our lineup video next. You have anything else to add?
No, just just make sure that you go on Twitter and follow us at Fool Duel, and then DM us or text us or message us on Twitter for entry into our FanDuel tournament and our DraftKings tournament.
Great.
You guys know that we're idiots, so steal our money. It's up for grabs.
Great, thanks. Well, I'm James Gale. You can follow me on Twitter at GoJPG.
I'm Ivan Lovegren at Watch the Breaks.
Thanks for listening, folks. Stay tuned for the lineups video.